Welcome. If you are new, my name is Veronica. If not, welcome back. And today we're going to be talking about sadness. And if you're watching this, the title of this is going to be, if you are sad, watch this. It means that you're sad and you are watching this. So I just want to start off with saying you're not alone. Like, you really aren't alone. Everyone goes through it. I think sometimes we get so stuck on a circle, like a little cycle. We somehow form a belief somehow that everyone is living a perfect life and it's just us, that we're the only ones going through something. And so here's a reminder that you're not alone. And we all go through these things. I still go through these things. And it's just part of human nature. Like, we just part of being a human is having these moments of sadness. And just also identifying that you might go through something. I know it's easier said than done. Like, in the moment, I know for myself, in the moment, whenever I'm going through these like stages or these moments of sadness, they're so challenging. Especially if you're in the moment, it's challenging. It doesn't feel good, and sometimes we may even feel hopeless and stuck, and we just want it to go away, right? No one wants to feel these things. But number one thing is how I see it, and what really helps me going like past these moments and shortening the amount of time that I'm in these moments of sadness, is honoring whatever is feeling, honoring that whatever feels, like looking at emotions as energy, and whatever you're feeling is accurate, it's perfect, it's valid. And to just, it's easy whenever you're in these moods, so emotional, it fogs your mind. You're in a foggy state because your ego's involved, you're triggered, you're sad, you're emotional, and you're going to want to maybe project that towards something else, maybe a situation, a person, like it's because of them, they're the ones that are making me feel like this, or anger, whatever. So I think taking accountability, like, I know it's challenging in these moments, especially if you're sad, but taking accountability for what you're feeling and honoring that. And you must honestly feel to heal. That energy probably already existed. The energy, the sadness, emotion already existed, and you just suppressed it. So looking at it as an opportunity to heal, like really looking at this as an opportunity to do really deep healing and free yourself. Because imagine that sadness that you've been suppressing, that you've been holding on to, it wants to be released. And imagine how free you're going to feel once you're able to take your power back and let go of that feeling, let go of those like emotions, that energy, that is just that baggage. And so allowing myself to feel, allowing myself to really choosing like the most compassionate, most kindest. And I know it's hard, I know it's challenging in the moment. Like, in the moment you don't want to do anything. In the moment you honestly probably are like really sad, like you don't, it's not a good spot to be in. But just, I like saying these phrases, I love myself so much that I will do X, Y, and Z. And so choosing one or two things or three things that I can do in the moment that's going to show up for myself, that I'm going to validate myself, that I'm going to honor myself, that I'm going to be able to just move the needle just a little bit, you know? And so it can be drinking a glass of water, it can literally be taking a shower, maybe going for a nature walk, maybe just doing that 5-minute meditation. Or it can be, maybe I'll incorporate some movement today. I don't want to work out, but I know that's something that's going to get me closer to some of my goals, that's going to make me feel a little bit better. Maybe it could be painting your nails. It could literally be anything. Incorporating self-care, whatever. Just 3 small things that you can do to really honor yourself, to really show love for yourself. Like, can just a little bit. And just having gratitude for that, that will definitely make you feel maybe a little bit better, but also get the ball rolling. Another thing is, if you are feeling sad right now, I like to look at it as, because I know when I'm going through these moments, like, sometimes it's just so blue. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone has to say or what, like, your mind plays tricks on you sometimes. Your mind creates stories. And so allowing myself to just, in the moment, I might feel this and not do anything impulsively, not act out of emotion, but just honoring this moment and telling myself, in this moment, I may feel like this, but let's see if I feel like this tomorrow or in a couple weeks or in a couple days. I will be okay. Like, in the end of the day, you will be okay. I will be okay. Everyone will be okay. In the end of the day, just breathe. Do your 3 things to honor yourself, to show up for yourself. Allow yourself to feel. And if you really want to go deep and use this as a opportunity to heal, is, I want to say, in the moment, it might be so challenging that you might not want to do it. It's too much in the moment, but it can be maybe putting some time aside during the week when you feel a little bit better. And that is coming back to the emotion, the feeling that you feel, wherever it's located in your body. For me, a lot of the times it's either my chest, I used to have it in my arm, but I don't have it as much anymore, or my solar plex. And I like putting my hand there, and I like honing into the emotion and welcoming it, allowing it to be heard, and kind of like remembering when's the first time I felt like that. And it can go back to childhood, and just allowing that energy to really be present and honing into it rather than trying to get rid of it or judging it or suppressing it. Just like welcoming it, that I can coexist with these feelings, that I am greater than these emotions, because the core of who I am, the core of who you are, is love, is bliss, is like love, is like bliss, is like abundance, because that's just a concept, right? So it's so profound and it's so wholesome. And just acknowledging that that's the core of who I am. So this is just something I'm holding on to that's ready to be released. And so I welcome it, and it's gonna get intense, and you might feel more sad, and that's just your body trying to purge out something that's no longer serving you. Was there a boundary that was like crossed? Was there, maybe, how can you work towards it in the future? Maybe there was a boundary that was crossed. Maybe you're holding on to some type of attachment to a person or situation that is no longer serving you. Maybe something triggered it, right? So just acknowledging maybe what it was exactly, and how can you incorporate healthy habits, and also just allowing that energy to flow through. And I promise you, today you might feel like this. Right now you might feel sad, blue, hopeless, anxious. You may feel depressed. You're not alone in this. This is what makes us human. We feel things, and allow that for real. I was gonna say for real. Allow those emotions to really just allow yourself to just really feel it. Just allow yourself to feel it, and just come back and do those things that make you happy, even if it's small things. And I know it's challenging. And I know, like, let me just tell you a story. Like, I have literally, there was the longest I felt blue, it was like a couple years ago, and it was like 2-3 months. It was something so long, and after that I started getting shorter and shorter. And sometimes there are moments where I'm doing healing work or something, and like I just have this feeling, I just go through these stages where I just so like blue, right? And the recent one was like 4 hours, right? But I realized I let this emotion go through 4 hours, and then I was like, how can I feel better? Like, it was like I was kind of in a circle in my mind, in my head. And I was like, you know what? Let me just watch some television. I know I'm gonna maybe suppress it a little bit, but that'll probably make me feel a little better if I would just watch a funny show. So I put on a funny show and I felt better. And then I'm like, you know what? Let me work out. Let me drink some water. Let me take some vitamins, make sure I'm good. I do those things. And the next day, I feel better. You know, I allowed myself to feel those things and just like going slow. It's going slow, but five hours is a long time. That's what I'm telling you. Like, what I realized afterwards, once I really looked, because when you're in like those emotions, your mind is being fogged by ego. And so you're not gonna be able, you're kind of go in a circle. You know, you're not going to be able to really see what's going on, see the message. So even if that means maybe doing a couple things to make you temporarily feel better and try to incorporate healthy habits, something healthy, something good that's gonna benefit you. But the next day, or now it's been a couple days, I'm able to reflect back at it, and it was just, I was holding on to an attachment. I just sometimes, for me, and this is just me being vulnerable, is I want something to be a certain way, and for me, coming back to things don't always have to be my way, and just surrendering those emotions to divine source, energy, God, higher self, whatever you want to refer it to, but just surrendering all of that to love and coming back and trusting that everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be okay in the end of the day. So I think that's very important. And I was able to then reflect and see that it was just an attachment I had. It wasn't that serious in a way. Like, it was in the moment, it was very serious, but now that I'm looking back at it, it was so minuscule in a way that I'm greater than that. We're greater than that. You're greater than those emotions, because you are so, like, you're a spiritual being. You're a manifestation. You're literally being here right now, listening to this is a miracle. It's beautiful, you know, and that's just a great gift that you have. And sometimes we get so caught up in our head and our mind starts tricking us, it's fear-based, our ego, and it's trying to like make us remain the same, trying to keep us safe, and it causes pain, attachment, because, you know, we sometimes feel pain because we don't want to, you know, we want to remain the same, we want to like make something work, or we like want to not let go of something in particular. And so we have to honestly like surrender, trust, and maybe that's an emotion that you're holding on to, maybe because when you were younger it was familiar to you, or whatever it is. And so I think just breathing, allowing yourself to feel, coming back, grounding yourself, and knowing that everything is going to be okay. Everything's gonna work out, and it might feel painful, you might feel really sad, you might not want to feel like this right now, but everything will be okay. And you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. And not only that, you will see that you have the light within you. And right now it's just being fogged. So just come back to those things. Another thing that I do that I highly recommend is taking a baby picture of you, a little baby picture, right? Putting it sticking in your mirror. I'm sure, I don't know if you guys seen this, going around, but you put it on your, like this video, but you put it on your mirror. And so every single time, and it does work, I've done it, and it actually did make me feel better, and I'll tell you why right now. But put it in the mirror, and so every morning you see it, and you kind of remind yourself, I remind myself at least, like, who I'm showing up for is that little girl that's inside of me, is me, right? Whenever I feel sad, I go to the mirror and I just know that it's a little girl that's being triggered. It's like the younger self, me, that wasn't being heard or wasn't being validated or whatever, that the truth that they took on, that I held on to. And so I try to be as kind and compassionate in a way for her. So I recommend doing that as a picture for yourself. So whenever you are going through a challenge or through something, you know who to show up for. for yourself, for that young little version of you that's still within you that just wants to be heard and healed. And when you do validate those emotions, when you are able to show up for that version of you within that you've suppressed, those feelings of sadness or whatever, those feelings, that energy will be released, and those feelings will kind of disappear in a way. And they do say that in your when you're able to let go of an emotion, the thoughts attached to that emotion also kind of disappear in a way, or they don't feel as intense. Because whenever we're sad, we think of sad things. Whenever we're happy, we kind of think of happy things in a way. So if we're able to let go of those things, we won't no longer really be attached to those like stories or that sadness, those sad stories or whatever. We'll kind of see it in a different lens, in a way. So other than that, I hope this helped, and I hope that, I know it's challenging, and I hope somehow, if you have to re-listen to this a couple times or whatever, I really do hope it helps, and somehow my things, what I go through, and how I deal with these challenges benefit you, or somehow show you a little bit on how it can help guide you through this journey as well. So other than that, I hope you have an amazing day, and I will talk to you all in the next episode. Bye.